Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Some years ago, after the Bharat Tere Tukde Honge slogans were raised, I had coined a phrase, a term. At that time, it was a hashtag. It was Tukde Tukde Gang. Hashtag Tukde Tukde Gang, because this phrase encapsulated the mindset of a lobby that wanted to break India. This phrase, Tukde Tukde Gang, exposed the motive and intent of a section whose sole objective was to destabilize our country. It ensured that all those who were against the country were lumped together under one common phrase, Tukde Tukde Gang. Now the Tukde Tukde Gang has evolved. Tonight, it is about the Burn India Gang. This gang, the Burn India Gang, is even more virulent, even more devious. The Burn India Gang is even more technologically savvy, and their motives are more sinister. They want to burn India. They want to burn this country with a communal divide. They want to burn this country with riots. They want to burn India by peddling insecurity. They want to burn India to ensure complete anarchy. And they have mastered the art of using the garb of our sacrosanct democracy to cause mayhem and go against everything that our constitution stands for. And tonight it is time to identify them and to expose them. And this Arnab Live, the question is, ladies and gentlemen, is there a hashtag Burn India Gang that is out to destroy and break India? I have one simple proposition today. Is there a Burn India Gang operating within the nation to cause its destruction and to break India? And that is the big debate on Arnab Live. Ladies and gentlemen, from those pining for a Sri Lanka-like crisis in India, to those who actively work to create a divide, to those who plunge at any opportunity to spew venom in this country, a section, a dangerous section within is working against the nation. A Burn India Gang is not a piece of fiction or my fantasy. It is a reality and it is in operation. And tonight, we confront, we call out and expose the Burn India Gang. But first, here is what they are all about.
भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह
First, a Tukde Tukde gang surfaced.
भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह
But over time, it metastasized into something more sinister. A gang that wants to block India.
गूंगी बहरी सरकार को जगाने के लिए कम से कम 1 लाख साइन बाग चाहिए पूरे देश में। और हम जाएंगे हर प्रदेश में और अपनी बहनों से एक दरखास्त करेंगे कि आज मुल्क को बचाने की, इस देश के संविधान को बचाने की, इस मुल्क की एकता को बचाने की इम्तिहान की घड़ी है। तो जबकि ये कहना नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि ये जिम्मेदारी पहले हमारी है, लेकिन हम अपनी बहनों से दरखास्त करें कि वो आए और जो भी बाग वहाँ सूखा हो उसे हरा भरा कर दे, उसे साइल बाग बना दे।
A gang that wants a riot-struck India. A gang that wants to cut India off.
समझ रहे हैं, फौज के लिए और जितने भी जो भी यहाँ से सप्लाई जा रहा है बंद कर, और बंद कर सकते हैं। चिकन टैक्स मुसलमानों का है, वो जो इलाका है मुस्लिम अक्सरियत है। कन्हैया जैसे नेता क्या करेंगे, जाके इनकलाब के नारे लगवाएंगे, फोटो खिंचवाएंगे और चले आएंगे। क्या होंगी हमारी आवाम की, चेहरा होगा इनका, और उससे एक भी प्रोडक्टिव चीज नहीं निकली आज तक।
and a gang that looks at the situation in Sri Lanka and rubs their hands with glee, fantasizing about a similar situation in India.
इन्होंने हाइपर नेशनलिज्म का नारा चल रहा था, बुद्धिस्ट और मुस्लिम्स और क्रिश्चियंस उनको आपस में लड़ाया जा रहा था और आज आपने देखा उसका क्या हाल है। तो मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ कि अभी हमारे मुल्क में जो लोग जो सरकार में बीजेपी ये होश के नाखून लेगी, they will learn a lesson from what is happening in Sri Lanka.
The Burn India gang sees devastation in foreign borders and wants to emulate it in India. This is a gang vying for anarchy in the country. And they use the garb of democracy to justify it all. But fact is, there was nothing democratic about the Shaheen Bagh blockade. There was nothing anti-democratic about banning a terror group. The farmers' protests were not a sign of local democracy, and simple restrictions on hijabs in school were no threat to democratic ideals of our great nation. The Burn India gang may look to the West for funding, but they must take a deep look at how the West treats such elements. Now it's time the Burn India gang is identified and exposed. This Arnab Live, expose the Burn India gang.
And ladies and gentlemen, on the proposition today I have with me Tuhin Sinha of the BJP. I have with me Prafulla Ketkar, editor of The Organizer, and Sanjay Dikshit, former IAS officer and columnist. I have with me Sajid Yusuf. He's the CEO of the Real Kashmir News. I have with me, of course, the one and only Mohandas Pai. And I have with me Kamru Chaudhary of the Congress and Taslim Ahmad Rahmani. And I have with me Vivek Srivastav, popularly known as Vivek Jinping, a name he does not really object to. And I have with me Ahmad Ayaz, and I have with me Syed Asad Abbas. And ladies and gentlemen, I have with me a proposition, and the proposition is on the Burn India gang. Now, to open the debate, I invite Mohandas Pai to come into the debate with anyone he chooses.
I'd like to come in with a Bangalorean.
I know you want to come in.
Mohandas Pai.
I know you want to come in. But Mohandas Pai will first begin with an opening remark. Is the Burn India gang real, or is it a figment of our imagination? Mohandas Pai, please.
Arnab, the Burn India gang is very real for a simple reason. A part of this country's opinion makers have taken it upon themselves to think they're going to save this country from Narendra Modi and the BJP. The fact is, Narendra Modi and BJP are the legitimately elected government of this country, elected by the people of this country. They've broken the shackles of power that these people held in Delhi. They liberated India from the family and from many others. They're ruling the country by the will of the people of this country. Narendra Modi has done more for the poor of this country in the last 8 years than any prime minister or any government in living history. Everything has been seen. Narendra Modi has stopped the corruption in Delhi, which many of these people fed off for too long. He has restored the respect to India globally. An Indian is welcome in all parts of the world today. He has stepped up to the hegemonistic powers, whether they are from China or from the West, to make sure India is independent. He has helped the minorities. If you look at the Muslims in central government jobs, 10% of them incrementally from 2014 to now, as against 5%. Muslim women are the largest beneficiaries of the program in UP. He has brought in the Triple Talaq law to give freedom to the Muslim women so they can enjoy the rights guaranteed by Article 14. And he has made sure that all across India, there is growth and development at a scale never seen before. Infrastructure is at an all-time high. This year, we're going to spend 7 lakh crores. and he has brought in DBT, by which 22 lakh crores has been given to the accounts of poor people all across the country. He has used technology. GST collection is at a 1,68,000 crores, an all-time high. Yes, there is inflation now because of high oil prices, the war with Ukraine, etc. And he has changed India, transformed India all over. And people of this country voted to him to power. And hopefully he'll come back to power. We don't know what will happen in 2024.
Yes.
These people cannot fathom India doing well.
Everyone on
so they
open
have
the
to
debate.
create these fake narratives. They have to create these fake narratives of doom and gloom.
That's one from one Bangalorean.
Okay, let him complete. Why are you getting worked up, Mr. Rahmani? Don't worry.
From one Bangalorean to the
Then
other.
who is
No.
the real burning identity?
Okay, we'll take one at a time, please. Can the volume be increased, Anand? Thank you so much. So I can hear everyone appropriately. Thank you. Mr. Rahmani, what's your problem?
That's why I have quoted all the GDP and the inflation rate. My problem is that if you are symbolizing Sri Lanka with the Indian circumstances, then the Sri Lanka, the main cause was the economy, the shattering economy. They have gone bankrupt. At the same direction we are moving to. Then who is the burning gang here?
Rubbish, talk with data.
The government itself, the BJP.
Mohandas Pai versus Taslim Rahmani. Mohandas Pai tells Taslim Rahmani that he's talking rubbish and does not have the appropriate data. I agree with Mohandas Pai. Mr. Taslim Rahmani, you are sounding incalculably uninformed today. I feel sorry for you. I feel bad for you. I feel like giving you a book on economics. I feel like telling you, Mr. Rahmani, what have you done in your entire adult life if you don't know basics like this? I don't want to. I don't want to. But you know, this calculation, this comparison with Sri Lanka is so stupid. It's such a stupid comparison. I don't know what to do now.
The wheat flour is the highest.
Continue louder. Louder, I want to hear him.
You have compared it. If it is a stupid, I
have not compared it at all.
Stupid a comparison.
I have not compared it at all. I'll tell you one thing. 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 1 minute. I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. You asked Mohandas Pai, okay? He's one of India's best known and sought after investors, right? Now, the foreign exchange reserves of Sri Lanka fell to $50 million. $50 million is about 340 crore rupees. You ask ask Mohandas Pai, any mid-sized Indian company, has reserves of $50 million. Any mid-sized Indian company has reserves of 50. I'm not talking about Infosys. I'm saying there would be 100 companies near Bangalore which have 350 crore rupees in their corpus.
How can you compare it?
How are you comparing Sri Lanka with India?
They were
are you out of your mind?
They were better placed than us.
Better place than us? What are you talking about? This is the problem.
You are comparing Sri Lanka with India. How can you compare Sri Lanka with India?
I can never. My country's tourism budget is more than the GDP of Sri Lanka.
Then why you referred?
I didn't refer. You people referred. No, you've been going on about Sri Lanka last 1 week.
At the name of communalization.
You just hate Modi. You hate Modi. You hate Modi, and you are wishing that something like this happens in India. Can you tell these misinformed people or ill-informed people why Sri Lanka won't happen in India?
I'm opposing Mr. Modi,
Arnab,
not hate.
Last year,
on the other side.
Last year to 21-22, we added 38 lakh crores to a GDP, $500 billion. $500 billion is huge. This year, we're going to add $300 billion from 3.15 trillion to 3.5 trillion.
Exactly.
All growth indicators are saying that this is what is going to be added. And if you look at our investment, our savings rate, our investment rate, foreign currency reserve, our reserves of food grains, our everything else.
GDP is what you have borrowed, sir.
Yes, we are having high inflation now.
83% of the GDP is what you have already borrowed.
You know, Japan's
Sri Lanka
currency has
borrowed
fallen
93%.
20+%.
One minute. You are is it? Okay, Mohandas Pai throw a challenge at you. Mohandas Pai, Vivek Jinping is throwing a challenge at you, and please throw your challenge.
Yeah, what is the challenge?
Yeah, Mr.
It's a bit of a
Mohandas Pai.
boomerang, but let him throw it.
Yeah. See, I'll tell you one thing very clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, there is Babar Nama, there is Akbar Nama, and today, Mr. Pai, you are reading Modi Nama, you know. I mean, whatever you spoke
Can you get
now,
serious?
it was nothing but praises.
Can you speak serious?
Give me data, man.
Probably
Give
for
me
your
data.
own reasons you want to
Give him
keep the
data,
government.
Don't talk without
And
data.
let me speak, please. Please let me speak, Mr. Pai. data दे रहे हैं. And probably you want to keep the government and the Prime Minister on the right side, on your own right side maybe. But that is now how the country runs, okay? This country
Don't talk
is
rubbish,
not
my
doing
friend.
well.
Give me
This
data.
country is
Don't
not
make
doing well
accusations. I'm one of the critics
No,
of
no,
the
no, no,
government.
no,
You don't know.
Please don't use words like rubbish. I mean,
Yeah, you're talking rubbish.
I
Don't make
don't speak.
accusations.
Mohandas is getting angry. Mohandas
I am not a
Right
sycophant.
side of government. What rubbish is
I'm
that?
not a sycophant. I'm not a sycophant. I'm not
You
a
are a
sycophant
sycophant.
like you.
I'm a critic
This
of the
country,
government. I admire
there
the
is
government
nothing
when they do good work and stop making personal accusation and statements.
Break the masjid
Stick to
gang
the
in this
point.
country. Break the masjid gang. There is a new gang.
What is that?
Break the masjid gang.
What?
There is another gang. I'll
Break
tell you.
a masjid gang?
Bankrupt India gang. You know. That
One
has
minute, one
got the
minute. What
big
is
MNCs,
break a masjid gang?
That has got the big
What is the
businessmen.
break a masjid
They're out
gang?
to
1 minute, 1 minute.
bankrupt
What is the
this
break a
country.
masjid
So
gang?
there are two-
1 minute.
two-
I
two
think
gangs.
Prafulla Ketkar will have to
Break
come in
the
right now.
masjid
This
gang,
is going
number one.
absolutely crazy right
Break
now.
the masjid.
No, 1 sec. Break a
Okay,
masjid. Which
break
masjid?
the masjid gang.
Which masjid? Which masjid?
Yeah.
Which masjid? Don't shout like that. Don't make a spectacle.
You started with Babri Masjid. You are challenging the Gyan Vyapi. Jahangirpur, you attacked the masjid. You know, across the nation there are attacks happening.
Are you out of
across
your
the
mind?
nation,
Are you?
Jerusalem,
Are you?
and
Are you?
possessions,
1 minute. 1 minute.
Swords,
Jinping.
more than 5.5
Mr.
miles
Jinping.
in length.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Break the
Prafulla, you want to respond? Okay, you do that.
Communists globally and
Prafulla Ketkar is on the debate right now.
Yes.
Vivek, be quiet.
Yes.
Prafulla is on the debate,
A
countering you.
blatant
1
liar.
minute. 1
A
minute. 30
blatant
seconds.
liar.
Prafulla is countering you. Prafulla.
China admirer.
About my nation.
Prafulla, go on.
China admirer, we can't expect better things from them. You know, the people
Louder,
who have
Prafulla, louder.
always
Louder, producer.
stood against India's interest. They can't mention China, that China is responsible for Sri Lanka's downfall, and they want the same thing to happen in India.
Oh, well.
In 1962, they wanted to, China take over India, and today also they want the same. India is going for Atmanirbhar Bharat, and that is their pain. Can we talk about Kerala government in 40% increase in GDPs?
So what is this break
Which are the states are in debt trap?
Why don't you criticize the masjid gang for a change? No.
You know,
You are
someone
going to
should
China?
file a
But
case
we
against...
are talking about
I really think...
nobody is breaking masjid here.
Somebody, no, I think the only way... I think 1 minute. This point made here, Prafulla, I'll tell you how the Break India gang operates. 1 minute. Prafulla, 1 minute. You see, Vivek, just be quiet for a minute. I'll explain this to you. You see, they spin a yarn, and the yarn is this: mosques will be broken. Are Baba, which mosque?
Yes.
Who broken? Oh, Gyanvapi mosque will be broken. 1 minute. Mr. Meramani, are you my echo? Are you my echo? Do you have to echo me? You have to echo me?
By a rogue criminal.
Listen to me. Listen to me properly. I'll tell you who the rogue is. I'll tell you who the rogue is now. Now, listen to me. Just because I'm polite. The fact of the matter is that, Tuhin, you have to come in right now. Five women have only put a petition in the court through the due process of law, respecting the court, saying only that may I not be disturbed, may we have the right to pray. And I'm asking everyone tonight who's on the screen. I'm asking them tonight, I will stop anchoring this program. If anybody can prove to me, 1 minute, if anybody can prove to me that these 5 women want the mosque demolished, I will walk out right here from the program.
Yeah, I'll tell you how.
No, Mr. Jinping, don't come in uninvited. Don't behave like a frustrated member of the Chinese Communist Party who's been suspended because of corruption. My question is right now, Tuhin, I'm throwing a challenge, and Tuhin is on the debate with Syed Destablised. Tuhin is on the debate with Syed Destablised. Syed Destablised has to prove to me that someone wants to destroy a mosque. This is part of the way the Burn India gang operates, Tuhin. Do you know the impact of this? Do you know the domino effect of this? Do you know what happens when you go around and you tell other people, you know, your citizenship will be taken. Oh, do you know? Then your mosque will be broken. And do you know? Then Modi's people and Tuhin Sinha will hold you from the scruff of your neck and throw you out of the country. But tonight there is republic. Now, Syed Destablised, you have to prove to me.
Just like Asaduddin Owaisi does not understand law.
Tuhin first.
Just like
Louder.
Yeah, please allow me some time. Just like Asaduddin Owaisi does not understand law, some of your panelists like Mr. Rahmani neither understood.
Tuhin, carry on, Tuhin, come on.
Yeah, please give me 90 seconds.
You have the floor.
Arnab, in the same way that Asaduddin Owaisi does not understand law and resorts to fear-mongering, some of your panelists like Mr. Rahmani neither understand law nor economy. I was hearing his debate, I'll come to this Gyanvapi Mosque issue also, but I was hearing his debate on inflation. He does not know that 7.9% due to an external trigger is a very normal rate if he looks at global figures. If he looks at UPA figures, they were in excess of 10% for most of the second half of the second term. So they are living in oblivion. Now coming to Gyanvapi Mosque, isn't this a fact that over a period of time, 40,000 temples were massacred, were destroyed in India? Now over here, nobody is asking for the resurrection of the temple. But your faith cannot be based on half-truth. We need to know the truth. And if 5 women petitioners have approached the court, I think it is only natural for us to know the history in its entirety. Why should a part of history be hidden from the world? I think for faith and for closure, it is important that the Gyanvapi Mosque survey is not only conducted, but it should be made live ideally. That is the way you attempt closure, that is the way you attempt faith.
But Tuhin, you know what I wonder, what I think it's about? Sanjay Dixit's coming in. Sanjay Dixit's intervening. Yes, Sanjay.
Yes,
Sanjay Dixit's intervening. Yes, Sanjay.
I want to read the plaint. I mean, what are they talking about, the Gyanvapi Mosque? The plaintiffs pray that the Honorable Court may be pleased to grant following reliefs. And they say that decree the suit for declaration, declaring that plaintiffs are entitled to have darshan, puja, and perform all the rituals of Ma Shringar Gauri, Lord Ganesh, Lord Hanuman, and other visible and invisible deities within the old temple complex situated at settlement plot number 9130. And all the other prayers are related to this. So what are they talking about? Demolishing the mosque and...
I tell you, Sanjay, that's why I said today, and I want just 20 seconds to explain what my thought process is on the subject. If I may, please. Vivek, can you be quiet for a minute? Please, remember. You see, the thing is that I think there's a fair bit of reverse engineering going on, Sanjay. And what is happening, every time there is a crisis in the world, there is a gang in India which gets inspired and which draws parallels and hopes and prays and hopes and prays and hopes and really prays that the same thing happens in India. They see hope. They are excited if Sri Lanka burns because they feel one day India will burn too. Mohandas Bhai, I'm telling you, one day India will burn too, and after India is burnt, from the ashes we will rise. Like inflammers, liars and phoenixes, but it's not going to happen. I'll tell you, I see your finger go up. Taslim Rahmani, did I take your name? Do you have a guilty conscience? Why are you responding to me right now? Why are you on the defensive? Are you calling yourself a liar? Please, Taslim Rahmani, the day you get 200 votes in a parliamentary election, you can respond. Not till then. Now listen to me.
That's why we are trying to stop you and your Modi government.
Not my Modi government, your Modi government too. Not my Modi government, your Modi government too. It is your Modi government too.
United.
Do you have a different government?
Don't communalize for the sake of winning a few elections.
Do you owe your allegiance to Turkey, though you have not told me whether you took money from the Turkish when you went there as a member of an SDPI delegation? Is your allegiance to Erdogan? Is Erdogan your president?
That's what our problem.
Is Erdogan your president? Modi is my prime minister, but is Erdogan your president?
I am opposing this government.
No. Is Erdogan who wants khilafat? Is Erdogan your president?
You are the fancy of this government.
Now listen to me.
I'm at the opposition side.
I'm asking here. You see, when on a serious note, Syed Asad Abbas is on the right. Syed Asad Abbas, when the Capitol Hill riots took place, when the Capitol Hill riots took place and America failed to ensure a safe transition of power, this lobby in India, Mohandas Bhai, remember, they got very excited. They said, people like Prashant Bhushan. I mean, I don't know what he says. I sometimes think he himself does not know what he says. I won't comment on his abilities as a lawyer, but certainly I think his abilities as a troll are beyond compare. But it's tragic, people who at this stage of their career become professional trolls like Prashant Bhushan and Ramachandra Guha. My point is, at that time they said, we must never forget Modi's cry. We must understand that democracy, there are countries where democracy is dangerously fragile. Arey bhai, you had a beautiful transition of power in the country, but you're looking at Capitol Hill and you're saying, oh, I really hope we also burn like Capitol Hill. And then when George Floyd, when someone called George Floyd is brutally killed in the US, right? At that time they say, what India can learn from Black Lives Matter. Arey, where is Black Lives Matter in India? Which African American, which black is being attacked in India? Then there is this fellow who's now crying about not being allowed to leave the country. Some fellow called Patel, Akar Patel, bit of a joker as far as his comments are concerned. He says, protest is craft, world will notice. Remember that, Mohandas Bhai? World will notice, protest is craft. Which means what I'm trying to say, why are you looking so shocked? What I'm trying to say, these people they are not happy that enough people did not die during COVID, They're not happy. They are saying more people should have died. WHO knows better. And we are saying, no, don't worry, so many people didn't die. We did very well, Mohandas Bhai. They said, no, we were expecting more people to die. We want the economy to be finished. We want a Sri Lanka-like situation. We want Black Lives Matter-like situation. We want a Capitol Hill kind of situation. We want absolute anarchy in this country. But why? Why, Syed Abbas? Tell me why. Don't tell me, tell Mohandas Bhai. What will you gain?
That's it. I will.
What will you gain? What will you gain?
From one Bangalorean to the other, with great respect, Mohandas Bhai ji made a very beautiful
Flattery
point.
will get you nowhere. Come to the point.
Yes, coming to the point about being a critic of this government. I agree with you, sir, and I thank you because you tweeted with respect to the potholes in Bangalore, and thank you, sir. The work has begun. I think, Arnab, one thing I have learned over the 5 years debating on Republic is we need to be fair and we need to debate with facts, data, statistics,
and figures. Can you end your preamble and come to the point?
Straight point, Arnab. Is there a Burn India gang in India? Arnab, I might differ with you on many ends, but one thing I tell you, nation first to me. But my question to Mohandas Bhai Sahab is a very simple one. Bhai Sahab, there is a gang which is existing, but what about the Bharatiya Janata Party, sir, who formed the government with a Mehbooba Mufti, who is a terror sympathizer?
Terrible decision.
Duplicity and hypocrisy is this, sir? And she's saying India will be Sri Lanka.
There's no doubt.
Sir, if you can, honorably, sir, I was the one who announced the Pride of Karnataka award to Mr. Mohandas Bhai.
Abbas,
and with great respect
you, Abbas,
to you, sir.
that was the mistake the BJP did. They mistakenly joined with her, who was against India, in the hope that Kashmir will have a stable government. It failed, and Kashmir went backwards. And I think we should be critical of them for making a wrong decision. They're a nationalistic, patriotic party. That's what they say. And they probably joined for the wrong reason. And I think, it turned out to be terrible for the country, for this country, because you don't play hook hockey with a person who's against you and who's been abusing you for too long. There's a wrong decision.
That's a clear answer. Now, can you come to the point, please? Since you're not coming to the point, Syed Abbas, I'll have to go to Ahmad Ayaz. You please understand Ahmad Ayaz. And understand Ahmad Ayaz. You see, these people, the Burn India gang, they use the garb of democracy to promote anarchy. You know what this Burn India gang does? They're very happy when the Kashmir Files is banned by Singapore, and complete absolute turncoats and hypocrites like Shashi Tharoor, like Mehbooba Mufti, right? They celebrate when that happens. And people like you, unfortunately, people like you want to bat on both sides. Ahmad Ayaz, there's a reality about you. I told you, you were wrong. You were one of those people who was even supporting Shaheen Bagh. You know what happened? The people in Shaheen Bagh, they didn't even respect the courts of this country, which means you don't believe in the courts of this country. You oppose 370, which means you're against the integrity of this country. And did people like you not try to say that the JKLF ban is undemocratic? And today, will you tell me as an associate member of the Burn India gang, that what are your comments when Yasin Malik has confessed to terrorism charges? You were part of the group that did not want Afzal Guru to be hanged. Do you want me to remind you about all these things? You were part of the
See,
group, and
Arnab.
Kamru Chaudhary was part of the group that supported the people, that supported those Khalistanis who were infiltrating into our domestic policy when the Red Fort was desecrated. Kamru Chaudhary was part of the group.
Arnab.
No,
Arnab,
Ahmad Ayaz, let's talk
now
straight.
Listen now. Listen now.
I'm listening.
Arnab.
I'm listening.
I must counter you. I must
No,
counter you by
Kamru,
saying-
let Ahmad Ayaz go first.
India gang, let me just remind you one thing.
Ahmad Ayaz goes first.
Yes. Let me counter Arnab. Let me counter you by saying that nobody will be happy to see his home or the place of living burning. And I must not expect you to say that anyone living in a country where he lives or a place he lives, he would like to see that country is burning or that the place is burning. I think it's unexpected.
Then why has one group been asking for India to burn after seeing Sri Lanka? Why has one group started thinking that the same will happen in India?
Let me complete. India being a very big country with various religion, multicultural, multi-religious, with different issues, with different problems. Once they raise the issues of their own way, which they have, different people have different issues, but unfortunately the people at the helm of affairs, instead of listening, addressing the grievances, they divert it, give it different names, like this gang, like that gang, like this man, like that man. They don't address to the real problem, the way they are dealing with the Kashmir. Do you think that for last 32 years nobody could see the Kashmir problem? Nobody could see what is happening in the Kashmir. Nobody could see what is the ground reality, and why people are not addressing the problem, why people are getting killed every now and then, why the Rahul has got killed yesterday. Do you think that people are not capable who are at the helm of affairs to deal with the situation? Why are not they dealing with it? Point is
because of people like you. Because there are people like you. Because of people like you who do not even accept that Rahul Bhatt was killed because he was a Hindu. Rahul Bhatt was killed because he was a Hindu. He was targeted among 7 people working in the office because he was a Hindu. A 35-year-old Hindu man was killed because he was a Hindu. First, you have the courage to accept that.
It is not a matter of Hindu or Muslim.
Of course it is. Of course it's a targeted killing. That's what you're...
Of course it was Hinduphobia. It is blatant Hinduphobia.
And it has increased for last so many months. It's not that...
Okay, let me ask you. Let me ask you.
The problem rise.
No, Tuin, let me ask him. Tuin, 1 minute. Let me ask him. Tuin and Sanjay is on the debate. And my next question is, look at the kind of discomfort they will have. I would like to bring in at this stage of the debate, Taslim Rahmani back into the debate and just see how he gets worked up. Taslim Rahmani and Ahmad Ayaz, welcome back to the debate. On the other side, we have Sanjay Dikshit and we have Prafulla Ketkar. And my simple question to these worthy gentlemen will be this. They say nobody is killed because of his religion. There was a young man in his 20s, a very proud Hindu called Harsha. Was he killed because he was a Hindu?
Of course he was killed because of his Hindu. The problem in Kashmir is simple and straight. It is a problem of Islamic jihad. Everybody who gets killed in Kashmir is, whether he is a Hindu or a Muslim, he gets killed because of jihad. Anybody who is a supporter of India is termed as a kafir by this takfiri Islam that is being practiced in Kashmir. And that has been the case right since the beginning. And I also blame even the government of India, which doesn't call out jihad by its name. You have to call out Islamic jihad by its name.
Calling it a Hindu-Muslim issue is a diversity. You want to
Of course, it is not a Hindu-Muslim issue. It is a pure Islamic jihad. Islamic jihad kills Hindus and Islamic jihad also kills those Muslims which are nationalists.
Ahmad Ayaz, only 2 on the debate. Ahmad Ayaz and Sanjay. Thank you very much, Anand.
It brings in its takfiri fangs into the picture and it bites them as well. As simple as that.
I tell you, it's not a matter of Hindu and Muslim so far as Kashmir is concerned. Anybody coming in their ways or the way they feel,
it's not Hindu and Muslim. It's jihad versus the rest. It's jihad versus the rest. And don't you understand? Are you also trying to be a munafiq?
50-50.
This is how you want to divert the thing.
No, it's not a question of diverting. Read the template that Pakistan prescribes. Read Brigadier S.K. Malik's Quranic concept of war. what it says, the total war, what it says, that not only you kill the kafir, kill everybody who's sympathetic to the kafir. It's there in black and white. And all of you follow that template.
No, sorry.
And when it comes to the Kashmir, then you start talking about, no, it is not Hindu-Muslim. Muslims also got killed. Only those Muslims got killed who were nationalists, who were sympathetic to India, who wanted to live with India. Those were the people who got killed. Not the Jamaat-e-Islami people.
No, just stepping back, I think Mohandas Pai, the next point I want to raise is this. One minute. I want Mohandas Pai and Kamru Chaudhary to be in the debate. You see, Kamru Chaudhary, at the core of all this, at the core philosophy, what binds all people who are part of the Burn India gang together, is their dislike for Mr. Narendra Modi. Now, Kamru, you need to come to terms with one thing, okay? Just come to terms with one thing. Listen to me. Come to terms with one thing, okay? You are a proud member of the Vadra Congress. Please continue to be, and take it from me in writing that this party in its present form, guided by these Sonia, Rahul, Priyanka and now the upcoming new youth leader called Robert Vadra, let me tell you, they have no future. Okay, now just because you're anti-Modi, you'll have to stop it somewhere. Now what's happening is, you are so anti-Modi. What is the core intent behind the mayhem the Burn India gang wants to cause? It is because they don't like the ruling dispensation of this country that is led by the BJP and Prime Minister Modi. But I want to ask you simple. Do you want India to burn because of your anti-Modiism? Do you want India to burn?
No, it is not that. From just please listen to me. From a aspirational India of the 1991, when India started its economic liberalization, to the shining India of Vajpayee ji, to the new India of Modi, wherein a Najib's mother is still waiting for his son, a Rohit Vemula's family is waiting for justice, where Stan Swamy died for asking for a straw to sip his water, to the millions of people.
He died asking for a straw to sip his water. Who told you this? Who told you he died because he didn't get a straw? I'm sorry, you are clutching at a straw. I'm asking you, how dare you lie like this on television? Stan Swamy died because he was denied a straw? I really want to, Mohandas Pai, let's get to the bottom of lies like this.
You know, Arnab, people are so used to creating fake narratives that they forget that people have well-read, people can find out data. Now, Arnab, let me say this to everybody. All of us are equal citizens of this great country. All of us must put India first. We cannot prosper if India burns. We must all work together to build the future for every citizen in this country, irrespective of gender, irrespective of religion, irrespective of any kind of difference between us. Put India first. Anybody who is trying to burn India, anybody who is trying to put down India, we must stand up against them. And we must talk with data and facts. Now, you may not like the government of the day, that is fine. You can oppose the government, that is your fundamental right. But don't pull down India. Don't bring down India. It's very difficult working in this country to grow India. We have been working very hard for 40, 45 years to grow this country. We have come a long way. Let us build a good future for every citizen. Don't go on pulling down India, writing negative things about India. You know, political parties will come and go, governments will come and go. India will live forever. And our future is linked with India.
Further question, Kamru. Further question, just to set the record straight on issues such as this, it becomes so important. Please, Kamru, the courts in this country which you do not believe in, the courts in this country decided there was merit in keeping Stan Swamy, who is 83 years old and suffered from Parkinson's disease and did not die for not being given a straw, but as a result of health complications which were long-standing, and he died of a cardiac arrest, not for being denied a straw, and he was accused of terrorism charges. So please don't lie and then try to be glib about it on my program. Now question goes here. Yeah, again Taslim is shouting. Yes, Mr. Rahmani. Yes, Mr. Rahmani, what's your problem?
He was denied. It was a national news.
No, you can put out anything as national news. Doesn't make it news.
83-year-old jail inmate was not provided a straw by the jail authorities. This was the news.
Now
Who
you
can
can keep
deny
writing
it?
your stories.
Only you can deny.
You can keep writing your stories because you're an alarmist kind of fellow. You know, you are the kind of person who says India has no place for Muslims, and yet the fact of the matter, you say India has no place for Muslims. Yet the fact of the matter is,
who says India has no place?
You people like you, and the Burn India gang says it.
Will live always.
Always. No. Burn India gang says it.
Till the last day. Till the
Burn India gang says it. Okay, no. Burn India gang also says. Burn India gang also says that Modi's India has entered a phase of genocidalism. I want to know what that is. Mr. Jinping, please come to the debate and tell Prafulla Ketkar what is genocidalism. Which apparently, according to an article in that pamphlet called The Wire, according to an article in the pamphlet called The Wire, whose finances I don't know anything about, and I would love to know their finances and everything. I would love to be curious about their sources of funding and their revenue, etc. But I would still ask, what is genocidalism?
Yeah.
And who decided that genocidalism is the most advanced stage of nationalism? I want to know which one of you intellectual twerps decided that.
State-sponsored hatred against the minorities.
There he goes.
Is the definition of nationalism of Modi.
Like Communist Party does in China, like Communist Party does in China, like Communists are doing in Kerala, in hand in glove with PFI. That is the mindset you want to know.
Prafulla Ketkar is on the debate. Prafulla Ketkar.
Follow the dynastic policies of Rajpakshe. You want to follow the dynastic policies of Rajpakshe. You want India to be in a debt trap of China, and that is your mindset. Why China? Why Sri Lanka is facing this, vandalism? Why China? Why Sri Lanka is burning?
There is no comparison to Sri Lanka.
Due to
there is no, Prafulla Ketkar, can I?
The reduction of tax base and all these things you want in India. You want dynastic politics, you want over-dependence on China, you want reduction in tax base, and that is the thing you want. If you really want to see the idea of genocidalism, then you must visit CCP China.
He does.
Masters and give them lectures on human rights.
Shame on you.
Please go to China.
Yes,
and
Vivek.
see how the Muslims and the mosques
You have not been able to control Kashmir, and you should not have removed 370.
by the state machinery.
You have not been able to control it. And the armed forces can never control a state.
It is government of India
or it's like Mizoram, or it's Punjab, or it's Kashmir.
Just taking my views forward. My next point, taking that forward, I want to go back to Tohin. On a serious debate right now, on a serious debate with Syed Asad Abbas, who was unfortunately unable to construct half a logical sentence right now. I'm giving him a second chance, but remember, there are no consolation prizes on my show. The fact of the matter is this, that my proposition is this, Syed Abbas, that they want India to burn because they are anti-Modi and they are not getting enough. They are not getting finances, investment, funding, patronage, land, anything. It's all over. The party is over. Now only people... No. The problem, and that's why you see they want foreign countries to intervene. I'll give you an example. Rahul Gandhi was calling for American intervention, into India's affairs. In his conversation with the former ambassador Nicholas Burns, and he said, I don't hear anything from the US establishment on my country's internal affairs. Now, I know the person has severe challenges of his knowledge base, expression, ability, articulation, and various other issues which I've had some personal experience with whenever I encountered him in 2014. And since then, he has not had the courage to face me. However, my question is this. Which self-respecting person tells a former US ambassador, please come and do something in my country? Because you don't like Modi.
Arnab,
think about it, sir.
More illogical. Give me 60 seconds before he constructs more illogical sentences.
Okay, who goes first? Tuin goes first. Tuin goes. Who goes first? Syed goes first. Syed goes first.
No, he will say.
No, let Syed go first. The question was to him. Syed goes first.
Simple question for you, but nevertheless, let me come in.
Syed goes first. Tuin, let Syed go first.
Arnab has taken my name.
Tuin, let Syed go first.
Tuhin, you know, well, you're a national spokesperson of the BJP. I also have a friend who's a national spokesperson, Sudhanshu Trivedi. Many a times on debates he said, कुछ तो बात है हम में कि मिट्टी नहीं हंसती हमारी, सदियों रहा एक दुश्मन दौरे जहां हमारा. We all stand for India. I want you to know that, Tuhin. But my question is, what happens? Why is your party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, so opportunistic in their aid to get power? You will form an alliance with the Burn India gang. Arnab, let me expose how the Bharatiya Janata Party across the state, their hunger for power is such that they will form alliance with them. Let me give you a simple example. There are many of these leaders who are coming out and saying that India is going to be like a Sri Lanka. I disagree with that. But those respective leaders have been or are the partners of the party.
You know, you're doing lecture bazi. You're doing lecture bazi now. I want to make it. No. You're doing what I colloquially call in my Hindu college language lecture bazi. Lecture bazi mat kijiye zara point pe. ये भाई साहब मेरी बात सुनिए. नहीं मेरी बात सुनिए. अरे बात सुनिए मेरी. Listen to me. अरे भाई listen to me.
Or power.
Listen to me.
Go to BJP.
No, listen to me. Please tell me.
Shake hands with Burn India gang. Shake hands with Tukde gang.
Okay, he'll respond now.
This is what matters to BJP.
Okay.
Now give me time. I will decimate. Arnab, I will before I
please.
respond to him. Let me
louder in the studio,
louder. Very nicely.
Yeah.
You know, there is a very succinct, there is a very precise and compact commentary of the present situation doing the rounds on the social media. If you elect a leader like Rahul Gandhi, your country will face the kind of problem that Ukraine is facing today. If you elect a person like Arvind Kejriwal, your country will... No, please don't interfere. Please don't interfere. Have that courtesy. Have the basic manners. If you elect somebody like Arvind Kejriwal, your country will face the kind of problem that Sri Lanka is facing. And if you elect a Mamata Banerjee, your country will face the kind of problem that Afghanistan is facing. But if you elect a visionary leader like Narendra Modi, the country will surge ahead even today. The Economist says that India will continue to be the largest growing economy in the world. They can't come to terms with the fact that in the next 5 years, India will be
on the other side right now. Tasneem Nabhani is coming into the debate. 1 minute. What's happened? Why is everyone so worked up? Tasneem Nabhani.
The slew of PLI schemes that we have unleashed in the last 2 years have basically eroded China's credibility in the world.
I said it very clear. Very clear.
Now let me respond to him. Now he has been blabbering about our association with Mehbooba Mufti. Let me respond to him about that also.
I said it. He's not ready to listen.
Okay, Tuhin, continue.
The country is being...
Tuhin, continue.
The country will be...
Tuhin, continue. Vivek on the right.
He has been talking about...
Tuhin, continue. Vivek on the right.
He has been talking about our association with Mehbooba Mufti. So let me answer that also once and for all. In 2015, when elections took place in Kashmir, there was an unusually fractured mandate where out of 83 seats, they got 28 and we got 25. So in very unusual circumstances, we formed the alliance, but we had the courage to walk out of the alliance because we realized that PDP could never grow out of the Jive Pakistan mentality. Unlike that, the Agadi will never grow out of the corrupt alliance in Maharashtra. So
if there was not a complete mandate, then what was the necessity to form the government with the Mehbooba Mufti?
All of you are cumulatively engaging in.
No, if there was no mandate for them, then what was the necessity to form the government with the Mehbooba Mufti?
They could not grow out of the Jive Pakistan mentality.
No, it is nothing other than the selfishness the political parties have been showing. Nobody is seeing the interests of the people.
Okay, now I want to come to a very serious point.
The nationalist mindset that by the day we realized that they are
also
we had the courage to stand, we had the courage to sacrifice our government in the national interest. But you guys in Agadi will continue the Vasuli. You guys in Vasuli in the Agadi will continue your extortion. That is the tragedy of the situation.
Okay.
Pursue Amity University online bachelor's and master's degree at your own pace and convenience. Get assured placement opportunities powered by 300 hiring partners and 2,000 job openings with Amity Online programs. Apply now at amityonline.com to fast forward your career.
are the live visuals that we are breaking here on the Republic, where one can see the Kashmiri Pandits marching towards the airport route in order to protest against the killing of Rahul Bhatt. Now my Vijay is showing you the visuals. See the tear smoke shells being used by the Jammu and Kashmir police and CRPF to control this protest that is going on.
ये बंदा सबके हेल्पफुल था, फिर भी इसको मारा क्यों? हमारे साथ ये इनजस्टिस क्यों हो रही है?
90 में यही हुआ था, किलिंग को 2 कर दो, 1000 लोगों को ये करे, सेम सिचुएशन।
अब उनको लगा कि हाँ ये वापस आ रहे हैं, तो अगेन हिंदुओं को वहां से भगाने के लिए, पलायन करने के लिए हिंदूज की टारगेटेड किलिंग है ये।
From the man who coined Tukde Tukde gang comes the expose of the Burn India gang.
The hashtag Tukde Tukde gang has now become a more sophisticated Burn India group. We will not burn, jealousy will burn, anti-nationals will burn, political frustration will burn.
Saturday 8 p.m. on Arnab Live.
ये सीधा एक धर्म विशेष के अगेंस्ट, और मैं नाम लेके बोलूंगा, आई विल नॉट मिन्स माई वर्ड्स व्हेन आई से दिस, मेरा छोटा भाई था। दे हैव हैड द प्रॉब्लम एंड दे स्टिल हैव द प्रॉब्लम विद कश्मीरी हिंदूज, सो इट्स अ प्योर एथनिक रिलीजियस क्लींजिंग ऑफ हिंदूज।
जो पाकिस्तान स्पॉन्सर जितने भी मेरे को अगर देख रहे होंगे, उनको मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि इससे डरने।
I want to know how many tourists, Sanjay.
Have you ever been there?
I know. I want to know how many tourists, Sanjay, like are there like Taslim Remani, who go with a katora and with open arms, and they go to the Turkish, bhai thoda paisa de dijiye, thoda paisa de dijiye. And I'm asking them, why did the Turkish give the money? Do you know, Sanjay, the Turkish economy is a disastrous economy. They don't have money to feed themselves. They may have all kinds of aspirations. We'll create, whatever this and that. But the fact of the matter,
who is saying?
Who is saying?
You know the cost of the lira?
Can I God, I can't. The cost of the lira. I don't know, Mohandas Pai, whether to laugh or to cry. But I want to tell him that when the cost of the currency goes up, it means the currency is in trouble. What's wrong with you?
हमसे सोचा क्या कि हम एजुकेटेड हैं तो हम जी माफी मांग के निकल जाएंगे यहाँ से, लेकिन नहीं, मुझे लगता है अगर हम शास्त्र पढ़ रहे हैं ना, हमें शास्त्र भी उठाने पड़ेंगे। ये अब नहीं चलेगा ऐसे, मैडम।
Weapons, if you are not able to provide security, otherwise just transfer us to Jammu. We don't want to live here, we don't want to die here.
ऐसे कितने राहुल जियों को मारोगे? अभी अगर हमारा प्रोटेस्ट चल रहा है, मुझे बताइए लाठी चार्ज हो रहा है, किस बात का लाठी चार्ज हो रहा है? एलजी साहब हमसे मिलने नहीं आ सकते, हम भी तो हिंदुस्तानी हैं, हम कौन से कोई अगेंस्ट एंटी इंडियन है?
हमें इस बात का पता लगना चाहिए वहाँ कितने आदमी थे उस ऑफिस में उस टाइम, जो कि एक बंदे को इन्होंने गोली मारी। ये कब तक ये न्याय, हम कब तक हम ये बर्दाश्त करें?
मैंने आके भी तहसीलदार ऑफिस में भी कोई जम्मू के डोगरे सरदार जी इनके लोग काम नहीं कर रहा था, वहीं के मुस्लिम लोग वहाँ की पॉपुलेशन उन्हीं के लिए काम कर रहा है, फिर भी मारा गया।
English is an international language. Tamil is a local language. Two languages are there. ஊர்ல கோயம்புத்தூர்ல போய் பாருங்க, பானிபூரி வச்சுக்கிறோம், எந்த கடை யாரு எல்லாம் அவன்தான்.
Make the Pani Puri sellers comparison the analogy. It's an insult. It's an attempt to classify.
They were are saying that this was a peaceful march, but the administration and the police turned this protest ugly. We are seeing that the SSP Budgam still speaking to many of the Kashmiri Pandits. 4 Kashmiri Pandits have been detained. 2 of them have received injuries. Killers who were behind the killing of Rahul but have been neutralized by the Jammu and Kashmir police along with Indian Army in Bandipora. It's the Algar village of Bandipora.
Cold-blooded daylight murder.
I come to a very important point, which is the foreign hand. Please give me a minute to explain it. And I want to come to Mohandas Pai. You see, Mohandas Pai, I want to come to him first because, you know, he's an investor. And as an investor, he puts in capital into the growth of certain media companies as well. Right? We are very proud here at Republic to have Mohandas Pai as one of the investors in our company, in our seed round which happened, right? And everybody knows that when he puts in an investment, he would ask 1,000 questions about the business. Right? Because there is nothing called a free lunch. There has to be a business proposition. Now, Mohandas Pai, why were crores, dozens of crores put by Chinese funds into a news portal called NewsClick, which has no business potential, in which there is no established advertising revenue, source of money, etc. At least not to the extent of justifying the nature of investment, but it was told. It was told. And why are you jumping? Have you got also some investment from the Chinese? Or is it only into your mind? Or is it in that rainbow behind you?
Very good.
My question is, Mohandas Pai, on the foreign hand, and allow me to expand the question, please. What about the Chinese funds to a news portal? Were alleged links to Chinese funds found when the news portal was investigated for money laundering by the Enforcement Directorate? The second question happens, and this is more complex, is about an individual called George Soros. A person called George Soros. Allow me to complete, yeah. Listen, please don't behave like that. The Delhi violence in February 2020, Mohandas Pai, happened after George Soros announced $1 billion to awaken masses against nationalism in India. So I may ask, I mean, this is a very curious coincidence. And isn't it true that there is a person who is a commissioner at the US CIRF, 1 minute, Commission on International Religious Freedom, which constantly abuses India, a person who has been previously associated with the organization of George Soros himself? So I'm thinking, Mohandas Pai, Chinese funding, George Soros, money being put in, Amnesty receiving foreign funds for organizing protests in our country, including in Jammu and Kashmir. Does the Burn India gang have a clear foreign hand as well? Mohandas Pai, please.
You know, Arnab, I'm happy you asked the question. There's a gentleman called Harsh Mandar. You heard about him, right? Harsh Mandar.
I do.
He sits on the Open Society Global Board, one of the global boards of Open Society. And Open Society is founded by George Soros. And George Soros has reportedly been funding a lot of this news organization. One of the other funds is currently under investigation by the NIA has been funding. A lot of foreign money has come overseas because the float companies overseas put money there and then pay the companies in India to create content and broadcast on overseas. The links are all there. They're all being bought over. Many of the NGOs in Delhi have been bought over. You can see what Amnesty International did for it. The government of India has gone after them. What did they do? Because the government of India and the UPA has said the FCNRA could not be done, they started giving money to the consulting assignment to create content. And that's why the FEMA cases were used against them. There is definitely, the global left is coming after people in this country. There's definitely funding coming from overseas. There's funding coming from Canada. We saw it through the farmers' agitation. Tell me how much money was spent in the farmers'
That's your
agitation.
problem. He's asking a question. How much money was spent in the farmers' agitation?
How much money is required every day? Where did the money come from? There is a foreign hand, funding is coming in.
Nonsensical question. Why?
The government of India will investigate and give all the details to the people of this country openly. We need our media to go behind the sources and find out the money and to give money. It's very clear.
Our magazines talk of the cause of the poor. Whether it's a poor farmer or it's a poor worker. Mr. Mohandas Pai, you are just nothing but a crony capitalist who thinks only of his profits. You cannot tolerate the working class coming up.
Mohandas Pai responding right now, please.
Share of my personal income for the poor. I started Akshaya Patra Foundation, which has given more than 400 crore meals. You'll never do even 1% of what I've done in my life for the poor. And stop shouting and start behaving like an idiot.
One left-wing oriented portal.
What is this stupid crony capitalism and all this nonsense you're talking? I've done more for the people of this country than you'll ever do in 10 janams.
You don't like our trade unions? You don't like our trade unions? You made
I don't like the trade union, they're destructive in every country. I don't like the trade union, they're destructive in every country. They destroyed this country. They destroyed employment in this country. The data is very clear. Look at the public sector, how they've been destroyed.
Out to destroy us.
Look at Air India, how it has been destroyed.
We will hit back. We will agitate and hit back. We'll make you take back your belts.
Please do that.
We will run our portals.
Please do that.
We will run our magazines.
Please do that.
We will take out
the
our
people of this country will give you a fitting rebuttal.
Mr. Mohandas Pai, your crony capitalism is going to fail in this nation. It's a nation of the poor. You can speak whatever you want.
Yes, you have kept them poor. You are interested in keeping the people poor. That's why you've been thrown out of power. You've been thrown out of power because you kept people poor. You are the people who created corruption in Delhi. Why are you shouting?
The nationalist banks.
Man, you're so illogical. You're making some stupid comments, illogical, stupid comments.
This is by the way, let me tell you, Mohandas Pai, on a lighter note, let me tell you, there is nobody in this country who can match Vivek's collection, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, he has a absolutely stunning collection of bespoke paintings. He has hundreds of designer, the most expensive branded sportswear which he likes to fashion. No shirt he wears costs less than 10,000 rupees. And this poor suffering worker, working for the working classes, only working to awaken the poorest people of this country, has a rather glittering lifestyle. But I will ask him. No problem. My question is, where did the 120 crores funding for Shaheen Bagh come from? Is it not true that 120 crores were deposited in bank accounts in Western Uttar Pradesh after CAA was passed? Now please tell me. Yes, Tasneem Namani, tell me.
I'll tell you.
Tasneem Namani, tell me. Did some of it come to you?
Where?
No.
Tell Praful Aketkar. Can you prove it? Could the ED prove it? Could any other investigating agency prove it? It was a media news. It was a Godi media news like you. And nothing more. So it was a malicious propaganda against the country and against the poor people.
Praful Aketkar is on the debate. Praful Aketkar.
Where are you? Why do you want to burn country with your false agenda? What is your real agenda? Do you want to forward the agenda of Khilafat?
You want
to forward the dangerous agenda of partitioning India again? Are you not satisfied with one partition? Why do you want to burn our country? Why do you?
PFI is yours. No, it's not mine. PFI is yours.
Of what? Of what? Of Khilafat? Of Khilafat? Why do you? Where did the money come from?
Of the PFI.
Yeah, where did the money come from? Tell us. Where did the 120 crores come from?
Where
did the 120 crores come from? The nation wants to know.
What was the agenda behind your visit to Turkey?
Where
did the money
what did you do during your visit to Turkey? Did you take money from them?
In the country.
Did you take money? Did you take money? I want to ask you. No. 1 minute. 1 minute. Look here. Firstly, Taslim Rahmani, so much palpitation on the program is not good. Sanjay, what am I asking? I am saying 1 minute. Yeah, 1 minute. 1 minute. Yeah, 1 minute.
They will tell you.
No, 1 minute.
You go and check
1
my
minute.
bank account.
Are people go to Turkey for various reasons. Some go for the food. It's quite nice, Sanjay. Some people go because they like a ferry ride, ferry ride from one side of Istanbul to the other. And all right, that's all right, And pretty much in 1 or 2 days you're done. My question is, I want to know how many tourists, Sanjay.
Have you ever been there?
I know. I want to know how many tourists, Sanjay, are there like Taslim Rahmani who go with a katora and with open arms, and they go to the Turkish, bhai thoda paisa de dijiye. And I'm asking them, why did the Turkish give them money? Do you know, Sanjay, the Turkish economy is a disastrous economy. They don't have money to feed themselves. They may have all kinds of aspirations. We'll create, whatever this and that. But the fact of the matter.
Who is saying?
Who is saying?
You know the cost of the lira?
Can I God, I can't. The cost of the lira. I don't know, Mohandas Pai, whether to laugh or to cry. But I want to tell him that when the cost of the currency goes up, it means the currency is in trouble. What's wrong with you?
Look who is saying.
The lira is worthless. The lira has become worthless. The Turkish economy is in trouble. Even when the Turkish economy is in trouble, why are the Turkish giving you money?
80 rupees, old time.
No, I want to ask. Sanjay.
You have no shame.
Sanjay, why are the Turkish who have no money for themselves giving Taslim Rahmani money? Why are the Turkish?
Ask me that I'm going to have money.
Why Turkish?
I call
the cost of my kurta.
I call them Panchamakkar, Panchamakkar.
Okay, Sanjay Dixit, louder.
Yeah, I call them Panchamakkar, this Tukde gang. This is Mullah, Marxist, missionary. Then there is the Lutyens media and the Macaulay Putra who want to turn India into the West. And Panchamakkars out of this, you have the Vivek Srivastava type. The Vivek Srivastava, ask him whether his party has disowned the Gangadhar Adhikari thesis which seeks to break India. It hasn't, not till date. And Mr. Rahmani, of course, he talked about Qayamat. That's his dream, to bring Qayamat, to bring Ghazwa-e-Hind. Because without Ghazwa-e-Hind, the Qayamat will not come. So that is the agenda of at least these two brands, and then you have, of course, such kind of
imaginary
types.
But I want to know. But I want to know. No, but Sanjay, Taslim Rahmani, 2 minutes. Sanjay, Taslim, just for a minute, because I think there's a lot of funding coming from outside the country. Taslim Rahmani, 1 minute, okay? Very serious question now. Tohin, please come on the debate. The question is this, and I'm putting a small example. Only in this whole world, only Taslim Rahmani feels the Turkish economy is doing well. As far as I know, Turkish economy has collapsed. Mohandas Pai is laughing away. But he says, Turkey, my favorite Turkey, my lovely Turkey. I love Turkey. I love Turkey. I want to live in Turkey. I want to go there. I'm an Erdogan fan, he says. I'm an Erdogan fan. I am a Lira fan. Are you Erdogan fan or a Lira fan? You're a Lira fan. But the problem is all the liras that Erdogan or his psychophans gave you is worth nothing because the Turkey is collapsing.
These crony capitalists and my finance minister.
How did you get money in Turkey? Did you get any money in Turkey?
Day by day.
Did you get money in Turkey?
This debate on a day
did you get money in Turkey? Tuin ask him. Why? No, my larger point is very simple, which I've not been able to make. No, my point I've not been able to make. Please tell me, Tuin. Please tell me, Tuin. A country that is collapsing, a currency which is in trouble. Why would they want to fund Taslim Rahmani and his friends? What is the logic? कुछ तो agenda होगा ना.
Like Asaduddin Owaisi does not understand law. Mr. Rahmani does not understand economy. You have to be a little sympathetic towards him. Just like Owaisi does not understand law, Mr. Rahmani does not understand economy. So you have to be a little sympathetic towards him. But Arnab, look at the coincidence today. Today, the Kerala High Court has passed some very indicting observations against PFI. By extension, it is also an indictment of Mr. Rahmani's politics, because Mr. Rahmani runs the political wing of PFI. So it's an indictment. You're missing a very big thing which has happened today. The Kerala High Court has indicted PFI and by extension has indicted the politics of Mr. Rahmani, which is based on tacitly fomenting terror acts within the country. Secondly, these people thrive on this debate of ye Muslim area hai, Muslim area se processions nahi jana chahiye. I want to ask him on this show, does he believe that in India these Muslim areas should be encouraged? Because if you're doing that, you are sowing the seeds of mini Pakistan, which is what seems to be your politics and which is also the politics of Owaisi.
Like the Britishers, you are looting these countries. You have given all the money
how
to some
are we looting? How are we looting? Tell me, how are we looting? Today, 80 crore people for the last 2 years have been getting free ration every month. How are we looting? Just don't make rhetorical statements which are baseless. For the last 2 years, 80 crore people are getting free ration. So how are we looting the poor?
Why you are distributing the free ration?
By direct benefit transfer, the poorest of the poor are benefited. Arnab, today Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities are seamlessly connected with airports, leading to improvement in their economy.
Why are we distributing free ration? Prafulla Ketkar, he asked. 1 minute. Why are we distributing free rations? Because everyone does not have as much money as you have. Mr. Rahmani, you are a very wealthy man. You are a very wealthy man. You have lots of money, lots of cars, lots of houses. I'm sure you have a lot of wealth, but everybody is not like you. You don't need free rations, I know. But my question to you is, why do you justify the 2021 Republic Day violence? Why do Manish Sisodia and the Bhim Army chief bat for Shaheen Bagh? Why do you try to exonerate Sharjeel Imam's anarchic speech of cutting off the chicken stick so that the one part of the country is cut off from the other? Answer me on that. 1 minute. Answer that. That's the question. Vivek is on the debate. Vivek is on the debate with Prafulla. Answer that.
We want to denounce.
There is Praful.
No.
Nobody is against the country. Stop victimizing the Muslims and
Umar
giving
Khalid,
the
hero,
all the Muslims,
out of
including
nothing.
Mr. Rahmani, are anti-India. Nobody is anti-India. It's your concept of Hindu Rashtra, which is against Muslims and the minorities, and you are not comfortable with them. That is why I said you have this break the masjid gang, masjid Todo gang.
Masjid Todo gang proven track record. You are China sympathizers. We still don't know why your party is Communist Party of India, not Indian Communist Party. Why you are just a branch of communism, global communism. What kind of poor politics you are doing? What did you do for poor in India? Why industries are closed down in all communist-run states in India? Why Kerala is in debt trap? Why Islamic jihadism is growing in Kerala? What is your politics? Tell me, Mr. Srivastav. You are more dangerous. You are more dangerous because you give ideological cover to burn India gang.
Okay, tell me the consequence.
That's why you need to be ideologically exposed.
Tell me the consequence. When somebody says, okay, we got 15 minutes on the debate. 1 minute. Tell me one thing. When the Bhim Army chief says, when the Bhim Army chief says there need to be 1 lakh Shaheen Baghs. Please let us be a little responsible. I want Mohandas Pai back on the debate with Kamru. And my question is, when the Bhim Army chief says there need to be 1 lakh Shaheen Baghs, and we know the impact one Shaheen Bagh had on the law and order situation, leading to more than 50 people being killed in the Delhi riots that followed. Which means you say you want 1 lakh Shaheen Baghs, which means you want 50 into 1 lakh, right? Which means you want 5 million people to be killed. You want 5 million people to be killed in riots for your hunger for power to be quenched. One Shaheen Bagh led to 50 plus 52 people being killed.
Question of power. This is not a question of power. Even after Mahatma Gandhi led a mass revolution against the British Raj, It was a popular movement that we hail even today. If need be Shaheen Bagh, I am telling you on your channel, there will be 10 lakh Shaheen Bagh if there is another unpopular law being passed in parliament by the majoritarian government in power. This is a warning to you, Arnab. We will not sit down, sit idle against any unpopular measure. Why was the farm bill being renounced after 700 people lost their life against the farm bills? Why don't you discuss that? You are trying to create a pseudo-nationalism along with your, those of Hindutva.
He's threatening. He's threatening. It's an open threat. It's an open threat to Congress leaders.
Gandhi never talked about weapons. Gandhi never talked about taking money from outside. Don't abuse Gandhi's satyagraha. Shaheen Bagh was not Gandhi's satyagraha. It was a blockade. It was a gherav. It was taking weapons in hand to burn India. It was taking money from foreign countries to disturb India's democracy. Please don't give these lectures.
How much did you spend
No, India will not tolerate any more Shaheen Baghs.
How much you are spending?
No, so he said.
Please, India is governed by the constitution and not by Sharia. Please don't give these lectures.
Syed Abbas, I think the Mohandas Pai is coming in. It's a very serious. Mohandas Pai is coming in. In the.
After this gentleman.
Mohandas Pai. Kamru, Mohandas Pai is saying something to you.
Arnab, after this gentleman has made the threat openly on your channel,
yes,
it is very clear that is part of a conspiracy with foreign money to destroy this country, to bring down this country. Therefore, all of us as citizens of this country should isolate this person, find out who is funding him, where is the money coming from to protect our country. The enemies from within, as Vineet Goenka writes in his book, are the biggest threat to this country, because the enemies from within are the one who sell their souls for a few dollars to outsiders to create riots in this country and to destroy this country. So Arnab, it is up to us as people of this country to oppose these forces, to stand up against them. And you, Arnab, as the channel, Republic as the channel, has to expose these people, because this person is openly threatening 1,000 million. What is this 1,000 Shaheen Baghs with foreign money? Shaheen Bagh was funded with foreign money. We all know that. We all know what kind of threats they did. They called the rest of India kafirs. They were hate mongers there. They were fake narrators. They were getting a fake narrative against the people of this country. And this person is saying, we want more Shaheen Baghs to pass in the laws.
Do you think that demonetization has not done anything? Was demonetization not supposed to put a check on the foreign funding? Where to end the foreign funding? Where from the foreign funding has come?
What are you talking? Demonetization stopped a lot of foreign funding.
When you say that the foreign funding, illegal funding, my question is where from that is coming? Does it mean that demonetization has not done anything?
Currency coming in from the western neighbor.
As a very proud action of the government. And does it mean that demonetization has not checked anything foreign or anything illegal coming inside the India?
Arnab, these people need to be educated. Demonetization stopped fake currency coming in. Today there is very less fake currency, but money is still coming in through Hawala. Money has come in through Hawala in Kashmir. It has come in Delhi. It is coming through drugs. Recently in Shaheen Bagh, there was a big catch of huge drugs from Afghanistan. There is a nexus that has been created by enemies within. They have to be exposed. We need the government to take action against all these people.
I need you to understand. I'll put it differently, Mohandas Pai. Mohandas Pai, I'll put it differently. I need people to understand one thing. Just 1 minute, please. I need people to understand one thing, and I'll put my point of view out. Syed Abbas, 1 minute. You see, you can't get away by doing whatever you want to in India. Shaheen Bagh was an example of doing what we want. Now, no other country allows this. So let me give you one example. There was this COP. 1 minute. Taslim Ramani. There was this COP 26. I think COP 26 climate summit. Okay, and when the COP 26 climate summit happened, some of these protesters near around London in UK, they said, let's do some tamasha. So what they said was, let's try and cause some disruption in the M25. You know, the M25, anyone's been to London knows it's an orbital motorway around London. You know what the police did? Just pick them up and put them in jail. Khatam. Over. Do you understand? That's how law and order is established. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? You know what happened to the truckers in Canada? No, you know what happened to the truckers in Canada? They were, no, 1 minute. Emergency laws by your favorite, that fellow, what's his name? Justin. And you know what happened in Australia? 1 minute. So I'm asking you here, since I'm giving global examples right now, don't shout. You try doing this in UK, Taslim Rahmani, they will pick you up and put you in for the rest of your life. ये शाहीन बाग वाला तमाशा मत करिए इधर.
That's why I said, that's why I ask you, give a turn.
क्या बोल रहे हैं आप? चिल्लाइए.
You can do it with the Shahin Bagh, but you cannot name the Kisan movement, where the government has to succumb to the Kisan demand. And you have to take
Kisan movement, you ran out of money to fund them, no?
So this
you ran out of money to fund them.
This is the selectivity. This is the selectivity by this government.
Arnab, see, there's a larger point over here. See, Shaheen Bagh was a toxic winter carnival. This is something I've said before and I'll repeat. But the larger point, Arnab, you know, after seeing the reinforced and some of the most sordid instances of persecution of minorities in the last few months, how can anybody, any human being oppose CAA? That is the larger point. Only somebody most heartless, somebody most inhuman can still oppose CAA. Have you not seen the brutal cases of persecution, especially after the Taliban takeover? And you will still oppose CAA? How heartless and how inhuman can somebody like you be? Anybody who is non-Muslim, is he not a human being for you? Anybody who is non-Muslim, is he not a human being for you? Very important question, answer that.
Okay, yeah, we're getting
I always raise important points.
Two others
I
on the
don't
side.
talk illogical things like you.
It has
You could not
everything
do it,
to do with the Indian
and
Muslims,
still you cannot do it.
It's just a tool to
you have
harass them.
withdrawn NRC, and you can never come out with NRC. That's how the Shaheen Bagh movement was a successful movement.
NRC was mandated under a legislation in 1955. We are not saying that it is going to happen now. But yes, any nation which is serious about its national security should be open to the idea of NRC.
You are the people who rejected the NRC in Assam.
Didn't you get the message? Didn't you get the message? 1 minute. Your problem with you is Taslim Rahmani. Sanjay Dikshit is with you. You know, most half intelligent people get the message after it's given to them 2-3 times. I'll give you one example. On the one side there is you. You are the person who says Dalits are finished, Muslims are finished, Dalit Muslim unity, we need to have caste unity, caste religion unity, all these things you've been practicing. At the end of the day, you got 83 votes, I think, in the last Lok Sabha election you tried to fight. You got 83 votes. I am told that even your neighborhood did not vote for you.
We are talking.
Even your neighbors did not vote for you, I'm told.
Yes.
Yeah. So on the other hand, did you see the result of the UP election?
You are ill-informed about that.
Did you see the result of the UP election? Did you not learn every caste religion formula was used? In UP, what happened?
I have seen.
What happened?
I have seen.
No, what happened?
I have seen.
You still don't get the message. You tried to create insecurity using the CAA. You tried to instill fear amongst Muslims. They have rejected the logic. They moved on.
I challenge you. You don't have any information about the UP.
You are the kind of person you thrive on fomenting insecurity and creating fear and perpetually doubt mongering, and people have rejected you. Sanjay Dikshit, please tell them. This Burn India gang needs to understand the way the people of this country look at them.
You are insecure.
He is talking about Dalit and Muslims. You ask him what happened to Joginder Nath Mandal, who was the original meme icon. What the Muslims did with him. And as far as the non-Muslims are concerned, they always believe that non-Muslims are like cattle. This is what they have been saying all this while. That's why even if the CAA actually comes out of the Liaquat Nehru Pact, it is actually a continuation of the Liaquat Nehru Pact, and because the Pakistani nation did not keep its part, that CAA had to be brought in. So CAA was necessary.
On a broader level, I want to conclude by saying that see the writing on the wall. You see, despite everything you've tried, and I want to give Mohandas Pai the last word on this, you see India is progressing. India is progressing. We are going to be the fastest growing major economy in the world. Actually, I think this should call for celebrations, and the momentum of this country should be unstoppable. Even the worst critics of the Modi government are now realizing this economy, the way the Modi government is moving is unstoppable. We are a power to reckon with. We are not somebody's client state. We have made tremendous strides. And this is huge growth, and we are destined to see it, Mohandas Pai, in our lifetimes. The most exciting thing, India superpower by 2030. Can you imagine, Mohandas Pai, what that will mean for somebody born at the turn of the century? That the majority of their lives will be as citizens of a superpower. Are we not to grab that opportunity instead of allowing this crab-like behavior to carry on? Mohandas Pai.
Arnab, India will be a $5 trillion economy by 2026, $10 trillion economy by 2032. All the young people in this country, including my friend Abbas, have a great future in a great country because they will see high growth. India will be a country where all the needs of our people will be met. India will be a country which is globally respected. India will be a country where technology will dominate. Third largest power in the world for startups. More than Europe, more than Japan. We will overtake China by 2026 in technology. We have the largest technology services industry in the world. We have the largest number of tech talent in the world by 2025, more than the United States. Bangalore has more tech talent, my friend Abbas, than Silicon Valley right today. India has got a very bright future. That's why, Arnab, we must fight against the enemies within. We must fight against people who say there will be 1,000, 1 million Shine bags in this country. We must fight against these communists who want to keep people poor. We must fight against these communalists who go to Turkey to get money for India. We must fight against all these people like George Soros who send money here to create fake narratives. And we must make sure our people have a bright future. India does well, and these people must be isolated. I think very important for us to unite and make sure the future remains bright.
For the price list and a comparison of price list after the 2040 to 2022. Can you give me a comparison? Don't talk about what will happen after 10 years.
Well, I will only tell you this. We look at the future and we change our direction. And it's very, very important that before they face further isolation in this country, because of wanting complete anarchy, that the Burn India gang learns its lessons. And the first lesson is this, that they have been identified. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the evening without fail. Till then, thank you for watching and goodbye.